We're two hitchhikers. We met while hiking Mount Baldy with mutual friends, wasted no time, got engaged on a frozen alpine lake, got hitched, and have been adventuring together since. We're embarking on a new adventure of living big in a tiny home. Let's see how this goes.
Adventure awaits.
Well, it's currently 31 degrees. We hit 21 degrees last night. So fall is definitely here. We've had some good frost early in the mornings, but as soon as the sun comes up, it gets nice and warm. So probably in about 10 minutes, I'll be taking this layer off. But today, our focus is to hopefully finish with the solar battery system. So here we go, here we go, here we go. The plan is to not have to turn the refrigerator off at night anymore because that's how we're getting through the shortening days. And yeah, let's just see how far we get. So where we left off before is Ruben had to fabricate 2 more bus bars for the current battery setup. That's what he's doing now. Is that all frost?
Yeah. You cold, girl?
This feels like deja vu. I like your sleeves.
Me too. Hey, no sparks.
The sunflower heads have been hanging and drying for about 6 weeks now. So now we can actually separate them so we can roast and salt them and then save some to plant in the spring.
My tomato plant's gonna survive the winter.
Well,
I think it is.
I'm gonna replant it though. It's starting to get hot now. It's like that interim, it's cold but hot feeling.
Oh, it's cold. You eat cold clothes.
Just because I'm in the sun. Here, try one with me. They're tiny but mighty. It tastes good.
Yeah, you can even eat the husk.
And this random sunflower plant that we just continued to let grow finally died in the frost. So it's time to cut it down because it's taking precious resources away from the lettuce we have planted. Into the compost you go.
Which way are we gonna go? I'm gonna go this way.
All right, where we are now is we are still running off of these acid batteries down here. There are 4 basically truck batteries. So that's what the house is connected to, and the solar array is charging those batteries down there. So those are the ones that have been working well, but they don't hold enough charge to be able to run everything at night, so we turn off the refrigerator. So that's what we've been working with. So now Ruben has set up these cells to have the batteries in the proper order that they need to be with the bus bars that he just configured. That is all set up and on. So now he's got to clean it all up. Once he does that, then he's going to try to switch it over to the big solar array, and hopefully we can leave it there. So that is where we are at now.
We're basically back to where we started because I had to top balance all these batteries so that they wouldn't overcharge and cause all kinds of trouble.
And that's why we had to stop in the middle and go back to the acid batteries.
Yes.
Because they were overcharging.
So now we're hoping that top balancing fixed the problem. If it didn't, I gotta figure out another way to fix this because we need these batteries to work because I need my refrigerator on all the time.
And how that works is we have to make sure that one of us is always here just before the sun goes down to turn off the refrigerator. Otherwise, it drains everything and then we don't have power for that night. And then we're dealing with the batteries having totally died the next day, and then we're 4 days behind everything again. So it requires us to sort of be on here regularly. So hopefully we get this working and we don't have to worry about the power draining any longer.
Hooray! Solar panels off.
So now nothing is being charged in the house.
Correct. Solar panels are now disconnected. See, no power to solar panels. I just flick this off, so no power there.
And there's no power in the house at this moment.
Correct. So now what I gotta do is I gotta take this fool off. And I'm going to switch these cables from here to the panel, get the solar panels connected, and then I'm going to connect the inverter to the system, and then I have to change the battery algorithm. Apparently there's ways these batteries charge that are different than lead acid, and I need to make sure that they're charging to lithium now, so they pulse different voltages at different ways. Finally charging the way that it's supposed to. Thank God we got that extra battery to change out the cells.
So you changed out cell number 11 because that was the one that was overcharging?
Yeah, I changed out one battery because I tested it. It was pretty high on voltage, but then I tested the other one and it was medium on voltage. But this is saying that we're going to be fully charged in about 5 hours, so I'll take it. But I'm noticing that our panels aren't pushing the 14,000 or 14 kilowatts. We're only at 2 kilowatts, at 3 kilowatts. So that means we're at a third of capacity, or a fifth. I don't know, 3. Yeah, we're close to it, like really low. So that means 1 or 2 strings of the solar panels aren't connected properly and not giving the juice that we're supposed to get. So yeah, but yeah, 5 hours and 24 minutes is when we're gonna be fully charged, which is cool. So let's go test solar panel. This is an amp meter. Do this. Now we're isolating this specific string. You go into. All right, so we're at 156 volts out of this one. Okay. So that's, what was it? That's close to the rating that we said, right? 48 times 4 equal to 192. All right. 2. All right, 156. Okay. All right. Negativo. Positivo. 165. All right. So that's good. And then 123. That's what I don't understand. I got 165, 157. Why am I getting a voltage drop of that much inside here? 3, 2.5, 2.5. That is so low. How many amps are you pushing here? 2.5 amps. Operating at 80% of their rating. So yeah. Okay. Gosh. It is normal for a solar panel to put out 80%. And that's what we're getting from each of these panels, because it's a 48 volt battery. We're only getting 41 volts. So 41 volts out of 48. It's close to 80. And these are really old panels too. So future purchases of bigger panels.
So now we just have to wait for it to charge up and then just monitor it
Yeah, but
today and tomorrow.
yeah, but it's so far it's working.
This is so exciting.
I know, to finally be done with that chapter. Our highest voltage rating is at 3.4. And our lowest rated voltage rating is at 3.3. This is happening, babe. It's working. I freaking love this. We're already at 15%. We started off at 1% in the morning, like from the very beginning. And now we're up to 15, and that's been what, 45 minutes? Close to an hour? They're doing the job. And the solar panels are up to 3,000 watts.
Which is what you were expecting earlier, right?
Yeah. Because at the height of the day, we should be at, what was it, 5,000 watts, the very peak of the day. We have a 7 kilowatt solar array. We have a 14 kilowatt battery, and then we have a 3 kilowatt inverter. So that's why my brain was backwards. I was like, oh my gosh, the panels aren't where they're supposed to be. It's like, oh, okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good, everybody. We're good.
Well, we're still at it with the batteries. We thought that this week we would have it completed, but it's been another song and dance week with getting the power to balance properly. So I'm going to try to explain this accurately here. We are currently on the lithium ion batteries. We have the lead acid batteries just sitting there as a backup in case something goes wrong. So far we've been okay, and we've been able to keep the refrigerator on at night, but we haven't been able to charge the lithium batteries up to 100%. Challenge number one is our days are shorter, so we only have so much time. We have had sunny days, which is great because it is pulling a lot of power into the solar panels. But the big issue that we're having, and this is why we're still running into these snafus, is that all of the batteries need to charge at the same rate to 100%. And we have 3 cells that are charging faster than the rest. So they are charging at around 3.8 volts and the rest are charging at around 3.4. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but every little bit makes a big difference, and they should all be charging at the same rate. So that's not happening. So we have these 3 cells that are overcharging, and it's causing the BMS, the battery management system, to set off an alarm and sort of shut things down. So we're trying to figure this out. Now we have questions out to the manufacturers of these different components and trying to figure out what is happening. Now, we don't have dedicated power here to charge these batteries up on this side of the property. We do have dedicated power on the other side of the property, but because we don't have temperature control there's no shed with insulation, those batteries can fail because they can't get below a certain temperature. So here in this shed that we have it completely insulated, and as long as we shut the doors at night, they can stay above the required temperature. I think they have to stay above 32 degrees. Ideally, we want them at around 40 degrees. So we actually ran into that issue this week too. So we had to put some heat in the shed for about 20 minutes in the morning to get those batteries charged back up. This is not dangerous.
No, not at all. Reset, we do.
Now we're up to temperature.
Yep. So what did we learn?
Shut the shed door. We have insulation in here for a reason.
For a reason. Yes.
So we have been in the low 20s and high teens pretty much for the last week at night. It's been warming up in the daytime. At least it's been sunny and it feels warm, even though it's in the low 50s and high 40s. But we're doing great. The inside of the house is nice and warm. And I'm actually going to head inside because my fingers are quite cold and I'd like to just, hold them around a nice warm cup of hot coffee that should be ready right now. So that is the update for this week, you guys. I know it's not super exciting. It's not a major update. We're still basically dealing with what we were dealing with last week, but that's the nature of the game out here, literally, and we just have to keep pressing forward. So yeah, that's what's going on. So hopefully you all are doing well. And as always, we truly appreciate you watching. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. We'll see you next week. Go, Gold.